Hey, hi, hello. Yes, this is another beach house. I was feeling kind of inspired and in a mood, so I built me another little tiny beach house. Welcome back to my channel. Today, instead of finishing my color block challenge, which I have 90% completed the final build, I wanted to build something without restrictions, and then I kind of gave myself restrictions. This is a base game and island living only build, but you will see me use a couple of other packs before I go back and swap everything out for something from base game or island living. This building has one bed and one bath, and it costs around 52,000 simoleons. And for the first time in many, many months, this is already up on the gallery. You can find it under my gallery name, Lissa Marie 23. It has been a hot minute since I uploaded anything to the gallery, and once I get my final color block build done, I'll have 8 more up there. But as you can see, we are working on the shape of the build. I wanted this part to originally be kind of like an open air, like porch area, which is why I had the walls and these open frame windows up. But as you can see, I quickly realized that the white swatch doesn't match on the columns. So I had to scrap the idea that I was going for, and instead I just went with a open porch area. And this is where you'll see me start to pull out some items from other packs, because originally, like I said, I was doing a no restrictions pack. I just wanted to build what I wanted to build. So I did use this cottage living fence. I wanted to say country living, but that is not the name of the pack. I used this cottage living fence because I thought it was very rustic, very beachy, even though it's more so for a cottage pack or a country pack. And then I am going to be using these open air windows, but I don't use them here in main house. I actually use them across the way on like the boardwalk that I build to this other building across the water. That's where I put the bedroom. This build is kind of a funky layout. The bathroom is going to be in this main house area with the kitchen, and then the bedroom is going to be across the way, and the living room is going to be out here on this open air porch. I figured since this build is in Sulani, it wouldn't technically matter that not everything is all within one area, because I believe the only bad weather there is in Sulani is during one of the seasons where it's pretty much raining every day. Also, you will see that I did try to make this just a tiny house, but I thought that I could get away with it. But I forgot that porches count as tile count. Don't know why I thought they wouldn't, but they do. So it is not a tiny house anymore, which is a bit of a bummer because I wanted to build a tiny house, but my vision and my dream were just too big for a tiny house. So it is just a regular lot. I did envision this being more so a vacation rental than an actual residential house. I pictured it to be for maybe a sim or a couple sims coming here on like a little writer's retreat to either rejuvenate their creative juices or to come here and actually write their book. Or I figured maybe it was just a place for them to come and read, because I do put quite a lot of book decor around. I originally was going to use the book nook kit where I put the bedroom. I was going to have a bunch of bookcases and stuff stacked around, and I was going to have a cute little reading corner with a little desk to write at, and then the bed also be in there as well. But then when I told myself that this was going to be a base game and island living only build, I had to pivot. But I think what I did in the end was kind of cute. And then what I'm building right now is actually the outdoor shower. The bathroom is a little funky. The only part of the bathroom that is indoors is going to be the toilet and the sink. I do have an outdoor shower because for some reason whenever I build in Sulani, I just have to have an outdoor shower. I don't know why, but I love the idea of an outdoor shower coming out of the ocean, showering off, and then heading inside. So the bathroom does have access from the outside and the inside. And then I am figuring out that bathroom situation right now. I was going to make it small, but then I didn't like how the doors were going to be in like a 1x1 tile situation, so I did make it just a tiny bit bigger. And I am using counters from Snowy Escape because, again, wasn't restricting myself, and I really wanted to use those counters. They were kind of the vibe that I was kind of going for with just like the open shelving and stuff, but I do end up just using the counters from Island Living in the end. And I will say my biggest struggle was the doors. Island Living doesn't have a lot of normal doors. They do have this really pretty sliding door here, but I didn't want to put it on this wall and the other wall because the door takes up a lot of real estate, and I didn't want the bathroom to not be functional. So I just used the one, and it's for the outside. And then I just used a regular base game door. It's in one of those new swatches. I say new, like it's a brand new door. It's in one of those swatches that came when we got Horse Ranch with all like the worn down, weathered swatches that pack came with. I used that swatch inside. And then here I am fixing the columns because I did finally put the trim around here. I was playing around with the trim, or what is it, the spandrel. I was playing around with that for a little bit, but then I didn't like it. But then I decided that it looked a little too boring. And so I put the spandrel back, and it's got like the little love hearts, which is why I kind of thought that this was more for like a couple coming here on like a little vacation. And then I do paint the house this turquoisey color. I wasn't originally going to go for blue necessarily. The original build that I had here, which is one that I built myself, was a beach house, but it was more of like a modern beach house. It was using a lot of light, airy colors, very modern. So I thought I was going to try to recreate that a little bit here. Ended up pivoting in a completely different direction, as you can see. So I didn't end up doing that. And then also I did, like I said, try to experiment with the white, but none of the white swatches matched or linked up. So I ended up going with like this wood color, and then I picked out this blue because I had already done yellow on my last build that I just uploaded, which should have been the yellow beach house for my color block series. So I decided to go for this blue color. And I like it. I use a bunch of different shades of blue. I think this blue on the outside is more teal, but then the other blues that I have are more of like true blue colors. And then this is me finally figuring out the kitchen area. I do use a fridge from Cottage Living, and this is where I was like, well, if I can't find a item that I like in the Island Living pack, I will use one item from a different pack. So that's why I'm using the fridge from Cottage Living. Also, I was like, I'm already using the fence from Cottage Living, so it just makes sense. So now I'm only using 3 packs. And then here I am messing around with the upper cabinets. I wasn't so sure about using these shelves because I personally don't. It's not that I don't like them, it's just they're not the cabinets that I would have wanted up here, but I do end up kind of smushing them together here in the corner to make it look like they kind of joined together, which doesn't really realistically make sense because you can see the handle for the one that I kind of shoved this one cabinet up against, but they don't glitch together, which was a really huge plus for me. And then here I am just picking out the flooring. I go with this wood flooring here on the outside and then a different wood flooring on the inside, just in this light brown color to match all the other woods. And then in the bathroom there, I'm using the stone along with the stone foundation because I figured outdoor bathroom, you probably wouldn't want the wood out there, so the stone works perfectly fine. And then if I wasn't just using these 2 packs, I'd probably use either the shower from University or the one from that bathroom kit, just to have like the built-in shower into the wall. And then here I am just placing the furniture for the bedroom. I do end up sticking with this bed dresser and nightstand combo. I really liked it. It came in the blue color that I wanted. And then I do put up some privacy curtains because we all know that the Sims love to swim in the ocean wherever they please. The only curtains that aren't fully drawn are the ones here in the front because I didn't want to fully block off the view. I wanted there to be just like a little bit of a view, at least when you're laying in bed, but granted that doesn't really matter in The Sims. but realistically you'd want to see something from the bed. And then I'm just picking out some lights here, and then we should be jumping back over to the interior to start on actually furnishing the inside here. We're going to work on the dining room first. I thought about moving the living room indoors, but there wasn't enough room with the couches that I wanted to use. So I just decided to make this the kitchen and dining room space. Again, I am just using Island Living and base game, and most of the furniture that I use is going to be the Island Living furniture. The only exception is going to be the kitchen appliances and the toilet, because although Island Living gave us some really pretty bathroom fixtures, they didn't give us a toilet to match the sink, bathtub, or shower. But I just pick a shower. I pick a toilet and just like a black swatch. And then that is the wallpaper I decided to go with. It's like the thatched textured wallpaper. I thought it looked really nice in here. Honestly, it's kind of cozy in here, and I'm very proud of myself for that. I was going for like cozy beach house, and I did it, and I'm super, super proud of myself. But as you can see, I have put the shower outside. I toyed around a little bit with putting a bathtub in the bathroom, but there wasn't going to be enough room. And also, one of the things that I like to do with Sulani builds in particular is to put a bathtub outside. Like 4 or 5 years ago, I had a sim who started out in Sulani. I did like a rags to riches with her. She was like a painter and all this stuff. I built her a beach house, and then on one of the decks that I built, I put like an outdoor bathtub, and I put up like a couple walls with like the cutaway windows and the curtains, and it looked so like spa-like and beautiful out there. I really loved it. But as you can see, I did put a mirror from Adventure Awaits in here. I do leave it up, I believe, this entire video. And then I go back. I think I cut it out. I go back in the end once I have finished the entire build, and I take out the mirror, I take out the fridge. And then I uploaded it to the gallery, being like, yeah, I used everything just from Island Living and base game. I uploaded the build, and then it said that I was using something from Cottage Living, and I forgot about the fence. So then I took out the fence and re-uploaded it, so it was only Island Living and base game. It also took a couple tries because I put some stairs up that kind of blocked, that cut out the fence, so there technically was still some Cottage Living fence there. So I had to go back, draw the Island Living fence over the stairs, to then get rid of the Cottage Living fence. Long-winded story to say that this is correctly uploaded to the gallery after 4 tries. But we are finished with the bathroom, and we are now in the entryway. There is just a burglar alarm, a mirror, a plant, and then a picture hanging up on the wall. I do toy around with putting this particular marketplace creator picture up in the hallway, but it just wasn't the correct vibe. I really like it. It's pretty, but I just couldn't use it in this house. I did, however, use the other one, which is on the other side of the wall. I put that one in the bathroom. I use only 2 things from the marketplace, which I thought kind of is a base game item, but kind of isn't, but also it's free, so I didn't feel bad using it. I haven't bought anything from the marketplace. I don't feel good about spending money to get moolah to then spend the moolah, which was my money, on stuff. It just, I don't know, it feels silly and it feels weird to me. So I was like, I got this stuff for free. Other people can get it for free if they so choose, so I don't feel bad using it in my builds. And then over here on this wall is where I decided to make my own bookcase. I used this shelf from Island Living, and then I just used a bunch of those base game book stacks here on the top 2 shelves, and I just make my own little bookcase. I didn't like how the bookcases looked in the base game, and there wasn't a bookcase from Island Living, which why would there be? So I end up making my own. I do use this tiny living shelf just to get everything all fixed up on there, but the shelf doesn't stay. I delete it after I get done doing this. And then before I did this, I did put up some of those Island Living wall decor things on the wall. I did use a very colorful one. I wasn't so sure about it when I placed it there, so I kind of just left it there for a while. But looking back at it, I actually really like it. It adds a nice pop of color to the space. And then this is where I put the plant from the marketplace. I put it on the top shelf. And I was actually fairly surprised that just by doing the 9 key and lifting it up there, or the 0 key, it actually was on the right height. So was this candle. It was just the books that I had issues with, which was kind of funny. And then I put a base game plant over here in the corner, and then I just get out some vases from Islands Living. I forget that those vases exist because I don't normally do stuff from the, like, what is this, like the statue category. Um, but those vases are very, very pretty, and I really like them. So I should probably start using those a bit more. And then the last few things that I do in this room is I put some paper towels on the counter, I put a fruit bowl, and then I believe I just pick out a rug. I also get a trash can because that is also very important. And as you will see, there isn't a sink in the kitchen, which might be a little strange, but I didn't have enough room to put a sink in the kitchen without making the entire build one tile bigger or without moving the kitchen around, and I liked where it was. So I don't think it's too bad that your Sims have to go wash their dishes in the sink. I mean, it's where you wash your hands after you go to the bathroom, so why would you want to wash your dishes in there? But your Sims do it anyways when you don't set the sink to be kitchen or bathroom specific. But anyways, here we are outside in the quote-unquote living room area. It's more so just like a deck with some couches on it. But I thought this was a very nice, interesting change of pace for the normal builds where the living room and living space and kitchen and dining are all inside. I just kind of left this space out here, and I didn't change much. I left the rug and the couches how it was. I just put a coffee table out here. I put a stereo, and then I also put a TV, and it's just like the little box TV. I put it on a table, which doesn't snap to the table, but again, pleasantly surprised that when I raised up the TV, it sat on the table perfectly. I thought it was going to be floating, but it's not, and it was perfect. I loved it. And then on the coffee table here, I just put a open book, like somebody had been writing in it, and then just a small stack of the 2 single books from base game, just a little bit of clutter, not too much. And then we head back on in here to the bedroom where I put a desk for the writing adventures that these Sims will be going on while they are here relaxing and rejuvenating their creative juices. And there is a candle on the desk. And then I also put another window because this wall was looking blank, but I didn't want to put art because none of the art from base game was really, one, matching my color scheme that I wanted, and 2, just didn't really fit the kind of style and vibe that I was going for. So I just put another window there, and I think it looks fine. It looks a little goofy from the outside, but I'm not too worried about what it looks like from the outside. And then I put a couch and a lamp over there along with a guitar. I just thought it was a nice piece of clutter. Maybe one of the Sims here writes music and fiddles around on the guitar while the other one actually writes stories. So that's why there is a lot of book clutter. And then over here on the dresser, I just put some perfume and a couple of extra towels. You know, because you're on a beach, so you're probably going to be using a lot of towels. And then I do put a hamper next to the dresser here. And then we will be moving on to the front porch and the outside landscaping. And on the porch, I just put this couch, this plant, and then I put some chairs out here, which they're going to be like these like eggy-shaped chairs. I didn't even know that this chair existed, to be quite honest with you. I've probably seen it when scrolling through the catalog of chairs, but I don't think I've ever paid attention to it. So this was a brand new find for me. I think it's an interesting chair. Do I think it's comfortable? Probably not, but I thought it was pretty cool, so I put those on the porch. And then one of the final things we are going to be doing here is just the landscaping. I use this low-lying grass, which I used to use all the time as garden filler in my regular builds. And then I will be putting around a bunch of palm trees, some native Sulani plants in a blue swatch to match the house. And then I will just be fiddling around with some of the lighting here in the end. And that is pretty much it for this build. Like I said, I just wanted to build something fun and something not too restrictive, I guess I should say, in like a challenge or anything. I just was really in the mood to build another beach house because it is currently summertime. It is very humid. It is very hot where I live. And if it's going to be humid and it's going to be hot, it might as well be on a beach somewhere. So that is what I did. And like I said, this can be a vacation rental. This can be a residential house. I think I uploaded it as a residential lot, but you can always change it. I also didn't change the lot name, so it is the Key Point lot in Sulani. Never changed the name. So, and it is also the first one when you look it up under my user ID. Because like I said, been many years, many months since I have uploaded something to the gallery. But we are coming to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. All the comments, all the views. Really, really, really appreciate it. And I will be back next week with a different build, I promise. More than likely is going to be the rest of my color block build challenge. And thank you again for watching, and I hope to see y'all in the next one. Bye!